Hi, my name is Alicia Randall, and I'm a fractional CFO, and I work closely with founders in startups and scale-ups. And I wanted to go through one question I get asked quite a bit, and that is, at what stage should I increase my finance team? What should my finance department look like? At what point do I bring someone in-house? All these kind of questions. And I can see why it can sometimes be confusing, particularly at that early stage, understanding at what level, at what time. So I've created a chart that you can see here to help you navigate what sort of team you should have and at what point. It's worthwhile saying that this is very much a high level guide. There are plenty of businesses that don't do as I've suggested here, or potentially it's not suitable for you and your business. But I thought at a starting point, it's worthwhile looking at this this overview, and then I'll talk you through each of the stages, and then potentially you can work out what is the best stage for you. And also, if you wanted to leave a comment below, if you wanted to discuss further, I'm very happy to schedule a call with you and discuss what might be relevant. So the first one is I've put down as headcount. I find that's a good way of establishing the level. I could have done revenue. I could have done many different other variables, but I think headcount's quite a good one. And so the first one was 0 to 5, do it yourself. Now, this might be, for example, if you are a solopreneur, you just want to do some consulting, you do a bit of one-on-one consulting work, these kind of things, then doing your own bookkeeping is probably, particularly in your first year, is probably the best way to do it, unless, of course, your numbers understanding is the worst skill that you possibly have. And if that's the case, go to the next level. So in that case, I would recommend using Xero. I would recommend watching a few of their videos. Xero is very easy to use. So just do your day-to-day booking yourself, because there's probably not going to be many transactions. You're just paying yourself. You may have 5 expenses a month, and you may have 1 or 2 invoices coming in a month. There's hardly any transactions. So you may want to do it yourself. I would absolutely have a tax accountant that will do your final year tax. Don't try and do that yourself. I don't even do it myself, and I'm an accountant. So definitely outsource that. The next level is up to 20 headcount. Again, you may go straight to this, or you may have this over 20 headcount, but again, as a rough guide, you should absolutely outsource the bookkeeping. You shouldn't do this. The reason for that is it's not value adding. It's, there may be quite a few transactions. You could spend a couple of days a month doing it. There is no point in keeping that in-house. Just pay a bookkeeper to do it. They don't cost very much. And they can manage all of the bookkeeping for you, all the payroll, all the VAT, GST, all those things. And often bookkeeping firms will also do your year-end tax. Not always. You may have 2 separate, which is fine. But I would absolutely outsource that. Now, I do have a bookkeeping guide. So if you're interested in downloading this bookkeeping guide, it tells you how to find a bookkeeper, how to, what are the red flags, essentially, if they're not doing their job properly, what sort of tasks the bookkeeper will do for you, and what things you need to keep in-house. I think that's quite important. And then obviously, at what point do you bring this role in-house? So feel free to download that. It does have a small charge, so I have left a discount code below in the comments as well. So if you want, you can use that code and you can download it for free. Just leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of it. That would be great. The next level then is a recommendation of potentially bringing in the bookkeeping role in-house to a finance manager. However, if it's not overly complicated and you have a good bookkeeper doing what you want them to do, then you may want to keep this external. Sometimes you can have a bookkeeper external up to about 100 headcount, so you don't have to bring that in-house, but I would strongly recommend looking for a fractional CFO. The reason for this is at that point, you really want to get under the skin of the numbers. You want to find out what is profitable. You want to improve your margins. You potentially may have some sophisticated investors and shareholders who need much more nuanced reporting than what you currently get. You potentially will have a leadership team that also need proper reporting. And you also want a finance leader that can help you navigate the business, that can help you maximize your revenues and growth and minimize the risk. So you're at the point now where you can't just have a bookkeeper and do everything on your own. You need somebody to help you guide the business forward. A fractional CFO will manage, or we will manage the finance functions. So the bookkeeper, the tax accountant, we just manage that for you on your behalf. So that kind of alleviates some of your resources. Obviously, budgeting is a big part of the role, but it's also looking at the commercials of the business, working closely with your leadership team, helping you fundraise, helping you with other things such as raising debt, M&A transactions, and really challenging the business as to whether decisions are the right decisions, looking at profitability and margin analysis. So fractional CFOs have really become much more popular over the last 5 years, which is great. About 5 years ago in the UK, there was only a handful of us. I probably knew all of them. Whereas now every single week someone DMs me and tells me that they're planning on becoming a fractional CFO, and I think if I can give them any tips. So there's a lot of us around now. I do train up fractional CFOs. So if that is something of interest to you, again, just leave a comment below and we'll reach out to you with some resources. But a fractional CFO will really help you drive your business forward. The next stage then is bringing all of that in-house. So the benefit of having a fractional CFO essentially is you get those CFO skills, but for a fraction of the price. So, you know, a full-time CFO, you're looking at 200, 300,000 pounds plus a lot of equity. Whereas when you're this is in 2024. Whereas when you're looking at a fractional, it's a tiny amount in comparison. So you really do need to consider that. But obviously, I would say once you get to about a Series B, from a life cycle perspective, you probably then want to bring at least a finance director in-house. Unless you're planning to do a huge amount of M&A and you're hoping to exit quite soon, then potentially a CFO. Otherwise, a finance director will be able to do a lot of things that the fractional was able to do for you, but you just then have that full-time resource. So they will then be able to build that finance function in-house. You will have them dedicated to you and your business. And there's a lot of work to do. So you definitely want to bring that in-house. So anyway, so that's what I think about or talk about with founders who reach out to me about their finance function and how they can get the best from their finance team. I will say again that these are very loose boundaries. So if you only have 10 headcount and you want a fractional CFO already, that's a 100% fine. It's not hard and fast rules. It's just a good way of thinking about it. So again, I'll leave some of those resources below. So take a look at that and do leave any comments below if you want more information. Otherwise, I do talk about the finance team, the finance things to think about, particularly if you are still doing everything yourself. So if you're at that very early stage and you want to build up a business, I very much talk about that on this channel, just so that you've got a resource to look into, particularly like accounting 101. So I've talked about how to read profit and loss statements, how to read balance sheet statements, what is accrual accounting, those kind of things. So take a look at that and subscribe to this channel if that sounds like you, and hopefully I can help you navigate your business. Thanks.